Yes, one moment. My apologies. Is there something I'm... Traveler! I didn't know you were still awake at this time. I hope your stay at the estate has been pleasant so far. Did you need anything? Is there a problem with the guest room? Oh, you just wanted some company? Of course, come in. Make yourself comfortable. I don't think you've seen my bedroom yet. Here it is. It's a bit plain, but it's comfortable and serves its purposes. Oh, don't worry. You didn't wake me up. I actually haven't slept yet. I was going to retire for the night in a few minutes. At this time? Yes. I end up working until it's very late. More often than not. I help brother when he's attending to his responsibilities, and so as a result, I'm usually preoccupied with business until it's very late in the day. Thank you for your kind words, but it's just a part of my daily routine. I simply do what I can to help alleviate his workload, to reduce some of the great burden he's taken upon himself. After all, brother has supported the Kamisato clan and kept it afloat for so long. It's only natural I support him. And while I appreciate your concern, I can't help but wonder why you're also awake at such a late time. I take it your days are also rather long, and tiring from the looks of it. Traveler, you seem stressed and overworked. Have you not gotten enough rest lately? You've had trouble sleeping? If you'd like, I can brew you some tea, or teach you a few meditating techniques. I used to have trouble sleeping because of stress. It was quite troublesome for a while. I know a few remedies I like using to help relieve stress and tension. No? You just wanted to talk? Well, if it's to help you sleep, I would be delighted to keep you company tonight. Oh, you wanted to know what I was doing when you arrived. What I was doing just now... Well, it's a bit embarrassing. Some would probably consider it childish, but... At night before I sleep, I like writing in my diary. It lets me think about the events that happened for that day, and it lets me, in a sense, organize my thoughts before I sleep. It's actually quite useful as a sleep aid. I first started writing in my diary after the passing of my parents, and when brother gained leadership of the Kamisato clan. I could say it helped me quell my whirling emotions and sort out my feelings of stress and worry, and made them seem much less overwhelming. Since then, it's become a steady habit of mine. Even after things became less chaotic and those feelings settled, I kept up the writing in my diary. Now, I just recount the events of the day, anything unusual that happened, like, it helps me relax, and so I can feel better prepared for what the next day may bring. I had almost finished writing in my entry for today. You really want to listen? Oh, okay. Although, I don't think my day was all that exciting. At least it was probably much more mundane than yours, with all those commissions you take on, and all the exploring you do. It seems like such fun. But if you would still like to hear, come here, sit beside me. I'll read you the entry for today. Dear Diary, my day started off quite ordinary. I got to talk with brother for a bit before he had to head out this morning. He had several meetings with the Tenryou Commission regarding recent events. I suspect he hasn't been eating as much as he should. I'll ask the chef to make his favorite dishes tomorrow, and I can have Toma pester him to take care of himself better. I'm sure he would be more than happy to do so. Oh, I did see something new when I took my morning walk through the gardens. A few weeks ago, I mentioned how I saw a pair of turtle doves with a nest. I didn't dare approach the nest at the time, since I didn't want to startle the two away. I stayed a good distance away from the nest and kept my eyes on it the best I could. Afterwards, whenever I walked in the gardens, I would check up on the nest. And this morning, I saw the eggs had finally hatched. The parents were both at the nest, and they were feeding the hatchlings when I passed by. It actually made me very happy to see it. Truth be told, I was starting to get a bit nervous about when the eggs would hatch. Fortunately, the gardens are safe from any predators. Hopefully the hatchlings will be comfortable. I couldn't stay in the gardens much longer, since I had some business to attend to today. At the first meeting this morning, we were to handle any new business, as usual. We mostly took care of the same business as always. But at the end of the meeting, the Yashiro Commission was given an unusual request. Well, no one said it was unusual at the time. After all, the request was issued directly by Her Excellency. The task we were assigned involved this snack called Tonko Milk. I had never heard of it before, but we did confirm with the Tenryou Commission that it's sourced from a reliable vendor. I couldn't help but wonder why the almighty Shogun would request such a large quantity of it to be delivered to the Tenshikaku. But the next chance I get, I'll find the location of the vendor that sells it. I'm curious how it tastes. Traveler? Do you recognize what this Tonko milk is? Then, if it's not too much to ask of you, could we buy some Tonko milk in the future? I look forward to it. Now, where was I? Yes. We sent an inquiry to the vendor of this Tonko milk, and soon after that meeting, I had my sword art training for the day. I appreciate your kind words, Traveler, but I firmly believe I still have a great deal I can do to improve my swordsmanship. And I must say, I enjoy my training. The feeling of wielding a blade has become like second nature by now. With each movement, I feel as though I can understand a greater part of the world, and my mind becomes ever more sharply focused. I suppose you could relate? After an uneventful morning, things turned around when the afternoon arrived. The traveler suddenly stopped by for a visit. Oh, yes, I wrote about when he showed up. It wouldn't be an overstatement to say that your visits have been some of the brightest parts of my days recently. I can skip over this section, if it makes you uncomfortable. Oh, you're okay with listening to it? It's a bit embarrassing. Well, if you insist. The traveler suddenly stopped by for a visit. I was ever so happy. I know that they've shown up quite often to accept bounties or handle business at the estate, but this was the first time they just wanted to spend time here, so I ended up offering the traveler a guest room to stay in. I really hope they enjoy their stay here. I only wished I had some more free time today. Part of me wanted to... I'll just skip over this part. No, it's nothing to worry about. Shortly after the traveler arrived, we all had a dinner at the estate. I'm always amused by how much the traveler and Paimon can eat. I'm sure adventuring fuels a large appetite. Over dinner, the traveler told us about their most recent visit back to Mondstadt, and how they visited a distant archipelago. It sounds like so much fun. I've never been to a place like what they described. Regrettably, we didn't have much time to enjoy our meal before I was to host a tea ceremony, with some visiting nobles in attendance. Of course, I always enjoy conducting tea ceremonies, and they're an important part of maintaining the Kamisato clan's reputation. It's just that I wish I had more free time. By the time we ended the ceremony, I still had some things to attend to, and when I finally finished everything that needed my attention, it was so late, I figured I should let the traveler rest for tomorrow. Instead, I started planning what I wanted to do the next day. And that's about where I meant to finish my diary entry for today. Traveler, you're looking... you're looking very sleepy. I'm more observant than you might think. I can tell you're much more tired than you were letting on. Really now. Do you want me to convince Toma to pester you as well? Here, I can walk you back to your room. Take my hand. Oh, Traveler. And before you leave, there is something I wanted to tell you. My apologies. I'm not exactly sure how to say this. Earlier, when I was reading my diary to you, did you want to hear the part I skipped over? I said that a part of me wants to join you on your travels and see what the world is like outside of Inazuma. We would have new places to explore, new foods to try, new people to meet. How I would love to be a part of all the stories you tell. Your world is beautiful and limitless, and the more I hear about it, the more I want to explore it. But in the end, that is my fantasy, and nothing more. I have my obligations to fulfill, and people to look out for. We all have different journeys, and different ambitions to fulfill. As much as I want to join you, I must stay here. And soon, I know you will leave Inazuma for a very long time. You really do have the heart of a traveler. You've already seen the lands of 3 Archons, and I've no doubt you will want to continue your travels sooner, rather than later. The last few times you came here, I prepared myself for each to be your final visit. Traveler, your world is beautiful and limitless. In comparison, I know the space here occupies but a tiny corner of your world. But I promise you that for as long as the Kamisato clan lives, and for as long as I live, this space will always be open to you. Few things bring me more joy than knowing you're free to explore wherever you wish. But should you ever wish to rest, I want you to know that you can always rest here. And should you return to this part of the world, I'll be waiting. That's what I wanted to tell you. Oh, I'm sorry for rambling. I can wake you up tomorrow morning, if you want. We can take a walk through the gardens, and I'll show you the nest where I found the birds. Good. I wish you the best of luck and safe travels. Do not hesitate to call upon my assistance, should you need it. And, Traveler? Feel free to visit again, whenever you would like. As I said, you're always welcome here. I'll be sure to make time for you. Have a good night.